Silence and the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, Sue, could I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Francis. Mrs. Irwin Adams. Mrs. McGinnis. Here. Mr. Mignon.
Here.
Mr. Cook. Mr. Pacifico.
Here.
Mr. McCauley.
Here.
Mr. Pappas.
Here.
Mr. Romanowitz.
Here. Okay, before we get started, I'd like to announce that we had an executive session prior to our committee of the whole meeting on February 11th, and we had one prior to this evening's meeting both to discuss personnel issues. That being said, we can move right to our special recognition this evening. Whoever is handling this, Haley.
I have to lower the mic, sorry. Good evening. We're here tonight to celebrate two of our elementary schools in the recognition for their accomplishment by U.S. News and World Report. I know I've mentioned to the board previously how hard and tirelessly our educators work. So I would be remiss without saying all 8 of our elementary schools have shown improvement and done a fantastic job. We're fortunate to have hardworking staff, students, and families at all of our buildings. But tonight, I'm honored to be here this evening announcing 2 of our elementary schools as 2025 Best Elementary Schools according to U.S. News and World Report. Baker and McAuliffe Heights placed among the top 40% of all elementary schools in the state of Pennsylvania. For each state, schools were assessed on their children's proficiencies in math and reading as measured by State Assessment Tests, or PSSA. Half of the ranking formula was the results themselves. The other half was the results in the context of socioeconomic demographics. In other words, the top-ranked schools are high-achieving ones that succeeded in educating all of their students. This is a high honor that the entire school community should celebrate and be proud of. This takes the effort of building leadership, teachers, support staff, children, families, and a supportive school board. All of the hard work and efforts of these many people do not go unnoticed here within our Altoona community, but it is certainly always nice to be recognized on this larger stage. We want to recognize your efforts this evening, and we will also be recognizing each building with their entire student body here in the next few weeks. Board members, you will notice that there's a pin for you to wear proudly at your table this evening. It should be right by your nameplate there. Each staff member and student of these buildings will be presented with the same pin that will be handed out at their building assemblies. Before I turn it over to our principals to say a few words, I'd like to share a quote from a very famous soccer player that some of you may know, Pele. "Success is no accident. It is hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, sacrifice, and most of all, love of what you are doing." It's not easy to accomplish such an award as this. I can wholeheartedly say that our teams demonstrate these characteristics on a daily basis. With every twist and turn, they continue to shine and always do what is best for the children of the Altoona Area School District. We are so proud of you all, and thank you for your continued efforts. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be on this journey on a daily basis. With every twist, we have with us this evening the principal of Baker Elementary, Mr. Rich Adams, along with McAuliffe Heights acting principal, Mrs. Risa Gray, and Principal Brandy Agnew. I'm going to first turn it over to Mr. Adams to introduce his team with him this evening. We have with us this evening the principal of Baker Elementary, Mr. Rich Adams, and Principal Brandy Agnew. I'm going to first turn it over to Mr. Adams to introduce.
Boy, I always tell the students I'm always a little nervous. Now I'm nervous right now. Well, It is truly an honor to be the principal of Baker Elementary, and the reason why is because I'm part of the Baker community. If you look over to my right, I have about 30 students that are our student council. It's truly an honor to be the principal of Baker. Oh, sorry, heard the echo. So I'm really proud of all of you. Behind them, I have two of the fantastic fourth grade teachers, Mrs. Wyatt and Mrs. Berkheimer. And they are just a sample of all the terrific people at Baker Elementary. It is just an honor that all of these students, all 281 students, are approximately 50 staff members, and all of our wonderful parents who are here tonight to celebrate our great accomplishment. It's just a fantastic evening, and I'm really, really proud of you. I can't wait till next week, I believe, when we get to celebrate with the whole school. Thank you.
So Mr. Baker from the high school that runs Mountain Lion TV worked with the school to put together a video of highlights. So it's a short video, but it encapsulates all the great things that are happening at Baker Elementary. So if you want to show the video.
Baker Elementary School received recognition for its outstanding performance among public elementary schools and middle schools across the state. The school was ranked in the top 40% based on a multitude of academic factors, a significant achievement that highlights its dedication to providing quality education. Earning this honor not only reflects the hard work of the students, staff, and administration, but also serves as a testament to the school's commitment for encouraging academic excellence and creating a supportive learning environment.
How does it feel to have your school recognized by U.S. News and World Report?
It feels great. Baker is a tight community. We have a lot of very hardworking teachers, so I'm proud of us. I think that day in and day out, the teachers that work here really put what's best for kids first, and it's paying off. The kids are really hardworking. We have parent support. We have a diverse community of learners, but at the same time, we push them, push everybody to their ability level, and I think we're seeing good results, so it feels great.
What innovative things have you implemented in your classroom?
What you're seeing today in here is our new science curriculum. So the kids are learning how to name and explore properties of solid materials. And then we'll move into the properties of liquids and things like that. So there's a lot of new vocabulary learning, but also a lot of hands-on exposure to the materials that they're getting to interact with. They have a science notebook, they have a science reader. So they're really engaged in the learning, and it's been fun for me as a teacher too.
What innovative things have you implemented into your classroom?
So for Leader in Me, everybody in first grade has a job. So the kids take care of most of the duties, stacking chairs, turning on the lights, taking care of the lunch count, putting away iPads. And they also have set goals for themselves, and they have accountability partners. So they meet bi-weekly to check in with their partners, check on their goals. They kind of keep track of their own goals. And it seems to be very successful.
What's your favorite part about being at Baker?
Being with my friends and my teacher.
What is your favorite classroom activity here at Baker?
My favorite classroom activity at Baker is when we do silent speedball in the classroom with all my friends.
What do you like about being a student here at Baker?
I like being a student at Baker because every month we have an activity that we can pay 5 paws for that we can do, or there's like something in the classroom every once in a while that we do for fun that we can do with a partner.
What was your reaction when you found out that your school was recognized by U.S. News and World Report?
I was excited. I mean, the first thing I did is I announced it to the students and the staff and sent information to parents. I mean, this is such a great opportunity and such a great honor for all the hard work that our students, staff, parents, and community does for Baker Elementary.
What innovative programs are in place?
I mean, one of the first things is Leader in Me. I think we give the children an opportunity to be leaders, take responsibility for their work. You know, we encourage them to work hard. They may not be perfect at everything, but we want a lot of effort.
our teachers are always looking for new ideas to experiment in classes and just be able to reach our learners. I'm really proud of our students and our staff and like I said, and our parents and our community. I mean, Baker is a great school, and we're a great school because we recognize and challenge everyone in this building.
Thank you. I was glad to hear all the fun that's being had with silent speedball and everything, right along with the learning. We sneak it in there even though we're still having fun. That's great. Next, I'm going to turn it over to Acting Principal Mrs. Risa Gray to speak on behalf of McAuliffe Heights.
Good evening, everyone. I want to take a moment to say how incredibly proud I am to be standing here today as the acting principal of MHI. This has been an absolute honor to work with such talented teachers, hardworking students, and supportive parents. Being recognized as part of top 40 schools in Pennsylvania is an achievement we should all be proud of. But more than that, it's a testament to the dedication and heart of so many people that pour out into our school every single day. This award isn't about one person or one moment, but it's about years of hard work, strong leadership, and a deep commitment to our students. I have so much respect for the leaders who came before me and the solid foundation they've built. Thank you for being here. The truth is, this recognition belongs to an entire community. Our incredible teachers who go above and beyond. Thank you, teachers. Parents who trust them with their children's education, the security officers, cafeteria workers, custodians, secretaries, and of course, the Altoona School District Administration and Board. Every single one of you play a part in making MHI the school that it is today. And today I'm so grateful to celebrate this moment with our student council members, our amazing teachers, and our dedicated parents. This is a win for all of us, and I have no doubt that together we'll continue to make MHI even better. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I feel like I haven't seen everyone in a long time. I just want to say thank you to our school board and Mrs. Flegel and Mr. Hatch for the support and all of the ability that they give us to make sure that the students are learning and the freedom that we have in our schools. I want to thank especially the teachers because they're the ones that are in there doing the work. They have their sleeves rolled up. They're doing it every day. They're working very hard. So, you know, I give a lot of credit to them. And then the families too. We have a lot of parent involvement. So I want to say thank you. And then also to Mrs. Gray. I want to thank her for being there at the school this year for me.
Okay, if we could go ahead and show McAuliffe Heights video, please.
McAuliffe Heights at Irving Elementary School received recognition for its outstanding performance among public elementary and middle schools across the state. The school was ranked in the top 40% based on key academic indicators, a significant achievement that highlights its dedication to providing quality education. This prestigious ranking, awarded by U.S. News & World Report, comes with an exclusive badge that the school can proudly display to celebrate their success. Earning this honor not only reflects the hard work of the students, staff, and administration, but also serves as a testament to the school's commitment for encouraging academic excellence and creating a supportive learning environment.
Hi, my name is Mrs. Risa Gray. I'm the acting principal at McAuliffe Heights.
And how does it feel to have your school recognized by U.S. News & World Report?
It was truly an honor. We are very honored to have been recognized as top 40 in the state. It's a true testament to the hard work and dedication of our students, our teachers, and our families.
What do you guys like about being students here?
I mainly like the teachers and the fun events that we have.
I like school because I like my teachers and I like to learn.
How does Mr. Stewart encourage you to do your best?
I think he makes learning really fun. It's never boring. It's always a fun activity, and we're not just, and then we do websites that are fun, and we do articles that are fun too.
This is its neighbor, we see it all the time. It's the brightest planet, brighter than the stars. Earth is where we live, that's why we love it so. It gives us life with tasty H2O.
How does your teacher in the library encourage you to do your best and work harder?
To be quiet when the teacher's talking, to focus, and to, whenever she says to be quiet, to be quiet.
What innovative things have you implemented in your classroom?
In my classroom, I teach library and STEM, so a lot of the innovation is the new STEM robotics, the STEM curriculum, getting them to do hands-on things, working in groups and collaborating.
Good. Good. Plug.
Down, touch toes. Up over your head. Down to your knees. Oh, gotcha. Toes. Knees.
What makes McAuliffe Heights a special place to teach?
I think that answer is actually kind of easy. If you come in the morning to opening, you can see that we are definitely a community. We learn a lot of things about each other. We celebrate all of our successes together, and then we build on that in the classroom as well. We've all been teaching together for several years. We've taught each other's children. It's just been a very close environment. We are close staff, and I think that translates into the environment of the school.
So again, big thank you to Mr. Baker for working with our teams to put those videos together. We will be highlighting those on their websites as well so that others can watch and view. At this time, I'd like to invite Mr. Adams, Mr. Mignon, Mr. Hatch. If you can come up, we're going to get a photo with the plaque, and we're going to have the kids come with you here to the center. Okay, if we could have McAuliffe Heights come up. I'm going to do it.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to everyone for everything that you did to put tonight together. Thank you, parents and families, for being here to help celebrate this wonderful accomplishment and taking time out of your evening to bring your children to help celebrate this wonderful accomplishment. We couldn't do it without you. This truly is a team effort. Congratulations to all, and we can't wait to see you at your schools to celebrate again.
Just before everyone leaves, and I know that you're probably going to leave unless you want to hear about exciting audit findings in the school district. No findings. Just want to thank Mrs. Flegel, who is super humble and will never take credit for anything. But she is really the engine that drives elementary education in the Altoona Area School District, along with her leadership team, principals, works tirelessly to provide individualized education for all of our kids. So thank you to Mrs. Flegel. So any parents that would like to then leave, you are more than welcome to do so. We won't be offended. We're going to continue on with the rest of our business meeting. We'll give you guys a few minutes to depart if you're choosing to depart. Thank you very much for coming tonight and bringing your children.
All right, what a transition. Tough act to follow, Dave. Step on up and have at it.
Exciting as that, but we'll try. You know, hey, I'm an auditor. What do you expect? But we try our best. Obviously, my name is Dave Scott. We all know I've been involved with Young Oaks Brown for many, many years, 42 to be exact. But I started when I was 12, so you can know I started as a young man when I started. But anyways, the audit went very well. Obviously, I want to thank Sue Franks and also Camilla, who's not here, obviously retired, and her staff, and Haley Fiegel. And I'll talk about the federal programs here shortly. But anyways, the audit went very well. There was no audit findings. And again, I'll just go over a couple of things, numbers. I'll talk about numbers a little bit because I'm an accountant and that's what we talk about. But basically, the first thing I want to do is go over the annual report of the Altoona Area School District as of June 30, 2024. If you just turn that, it's a thicker one. There's two of them there. You should have two of them. It's a thicker one. Go to page 14. And that's a balance sheet. It's a snapshot as that date, June 30, 2024, of the assets, liabilities, and fund balance of the school district here. You can see down, again, I'm talking about the general fund, the clear on the left there, clear to the bottom. You see the fund balance is a little over $35 million. So again, I think it's a little healthier than it had been in the past. So we are doing a lot better fiscally. And then the other thing I want to talk about on page 16, which is the statement of revenue, expenditures, and change in fund balance, which is similar to a profit and loss statement for a business. And again, I'm going to talk about the general fund, the column on the left, and you go to the third line up from the bottom. It says about $3.7 million increase. So again, we had a pause. We were in the black, $3.7 million for the fiscal year that ended June 30, 2024. So obviously, that's good news, obviously. And we're starting to build back up the fund balance a little bit here. So that's great. That's really all I had to say about that report. I know it's very thick. It's almost 100 pages. But again, that's the main numbers I wanted to talk about. And the other one I want to talk about is the thinner one, which is the schedule of expenditure of federal awards and internal control and compliance. And this is what we call the single audit. If you have federal expenditures over any entity, government or nonprofit that has more than $750,000 of federal expenditures, then we have to do a special audit, a comprehensive examination of internal control and compliance with federal laws and regulations. In this case, your total federal dollars a little over about $26 million. And obviously, you'll always have a single audit here. Single audit. If you're federal, okay. Anyways, to continue, we had to select based on risk assessment and so forth. We selected a program. We tested comprehensive examination of about 12, almost $13 million, and it related to the Education Stabilization Fund, which is really a carryover from COVID. It's COVID money carryover. It was about $13 million, almost $13 million, and we did a comprehensive examination of that. There were no audit findings, but we did issue a management letter for some minor issues we think need to be addressed. Other than that, the audit went very well, and again, we want to appreciate your cooperation from all the staff and everything. So I'll answer any questions you might have or any concerns you might have, anything. Have a great evening. Good night.
Thanks, Dave.
Just before Mr. Scott leaves, just want to thank Dave and his team from Yobco. When they're in for 3, 4, 5 months at a time, and I know that Sue in the business department and Haley in the federal programs department and their entire teams work tirelessly to provide them with the data and the information that they need. For a district our size, with the number of transactions and revenue that flow through from different areas, to have no findings is a testament to the quality of work that is done by all the departments within the district. So I want to thank especially Sue's department and Haley's department for all of the work that they do. And it's always nice to see Mr. Scott come in and share some stories. And we talk about his kids and different things, and always enjoy seeing Dave and his team come in. So thank you very much to Yobco and your team, Dave.
Okay. Now we're at that point where we're willing to hear from any citizens here who'd like to step up and speak to or address the board. Anybody? Okay, we'll move on. Next, we'll move on to the approval of minutes from the regular board meeting, January 13th of this year, and our committee of the whole meeting, February 11th of this year. Seeking a motion to approve those minutes. Do I have a second? Would anybody like to discuss? Okay. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, we'll move right down to finance. We have a list of payments, financial reports. C is athletic use of facilities for the high school swimming pool. As I recall, that was the Special Olympics to use it. Use of facilities wrestling room for Young Guns Wrestling Club to use the Altoona Area High School Wrestling Room from February through May 2025, from February through May 2025 for the purpose of wrestling instruction at a rate of $75 per session. Athletic approval of the PJW Wrestling Area 2 to use the field house for a wrestling tournament on Sunday, February 16th at a rate of $700. And then lastly, administration requests approval to accept a quote provided by Pennsylvania Trust for the GASB 75 Valuation Services Agreement for actuarial services. Because there's always confusing acronyms and numbers here. If my research serves me right, that is to do some actuarial analysis of the liability of the retirement healthcare, the people who are retired's healthcare fund, right? All right. Seeking a motion to approve items 5A through F. Do I have a second? Would anybody like to discuss? I will take a minute and just shine the light on charter schools again. We spent nearly $500,000 in tuition to charter schools on this list of payments, not for just 1 month. It was over different schools for different months, but the total was $500,000. I think earlier Brad shared a report with us that was completed by sort of a local, or not a local, but a statewide organization that shined the light on a particular charter school that I won't mention. But it just showed some of the, they did an analysis of some of the spending that they did that doesn't line up to make it fair competition between us and them. They spend a lot of money on paying parents, apparently, from looking at that report. Even though they're a cyber school, they have a fleet of vehicles. You don't have a vehicle paid for by us, do you? Okay. Okay, so, their leaders are driving around in $58,000 vehicles, and here in the public schools, we have Brad driving around like that. So just want to point out again how unfair it is. Their records, a lot of the payments they made were redacted, so you couldn't even really see what was going on. And so there's a lack of transparency there. If they're able to find a way to pay parents something for their children to participate or be a member of that charter school, that's a unfair advantage. And we just like the playing field to be level. And that's all we really seek. So that's my piece for this month. So thanks for indulging. Any further discussion? Okay. All in favor of approving items 5A through F, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Just real quick, I know we had some facility utilization approvals on. Trevor's here tonight, so we've had on and off really unpredictable, crappy weather. A lot of these have intersected with major events that have gone on here at the high school and in the high school complex. So kudos to Trevor and his team who jumped into action quickly on Saturday to make our facility safe for the over 2,500 visitors that were here on Sunday and again or Saturday and again on Sunday, when we had, unexpected blizzard-like conditions, and him and his team jumped right into action and were able to clear our lots and our walks and our stairs to keep things safe for our renters. So can't say enough. I know we were up against it. We were nervous until today. We were out of rock salt. And you were unable to get rock salt. So fortunately, company that we use as a vendor came through today and was able to refill our supply for potentially anticipated possible weather issues moving forward. But Trevor, thank you to you and your guys that are willing to come out at all hours of the night on the weekends to keep our places safe. Thank you.
Okay, moving on to number 6, policy. We have A, first readings of several policies, and B, the final reading of several policies. Looking for a motion to approve both these items. Have a second? Would anybody like to discuss any of the policies listed here? No? Okay. All in favor of approving items 6A and B, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to 7, administration A, approval of voluntary survey of teachers. Administration requests approval for Shane Cower to complete a questionnaire with AASD staff that volunteer to complete a survey in conjunction with his dissertation. The purpose of the study is to gain better understanding of why teachers want to leave their current school or traditional public schools entirely. The researcher is seeking to understand what districts can do as whole to promote teacher retention, and the researcher is seeking to understand what principals can do to promote teacher retention. For research purposes, you'll be asked to name the school district in which you are employed, but the name of the district will be kept confidential in the results of the study. That's A. B is another one. Administration requests approval for Jessica Zorger to complete a questionnaire with AASD staff that volunteer to complete a survey in conjunction with her dissertation. The purpose of the study is to explore the challenges related to assessing and meeting academic readiness for young learners with particular focus on teacher and parent perspectives. The next is administration requests approval of the Pennsylvania Western University Affiliation Agreement for an academic experience site. D is a donation administration requests approval of the annual contribution to Blair County Department of Social Services Student Assistance Program in the amount of $1,000. E is a secondary conference request approval for Wanda Vanish, is it right? Is that right? To attend Columbia Scholastic Press Association Conference in New York on March 18th through the 22nd of this year. She is presenting the 100th anniversary of the CSPA conference and will attend the CSPAA board meeting as vice president. Wow. Network with other journalism teachers and professionals, attend presentations from other presenters, attend the luncheons and keynote presentations. Columbia University covers all costs except for the substitute. AAEA will cover the fee cost of $720 for sub. F is PSU dual credit affiliation agreement. G is a half credit, approval of a half credit course for the fall of 2025, the science of science fiction. H is another approval request for a half credit course in the fall of 2025, cultures and traditions around the world. I is the elementary field trip approval. J are secondary field trip approvals. And K is our list of volunteers to approve. Seeking for a motion to approve items A through K under 7, education. Do I have a motion? Anyone with a second? Would anybody like to discuss any of these items? Okay. All in favor of approving items 7A through K, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. We'll move to 8. We have our list of personnel agenda items. And under B, we have administration recommends the approval of the attached addendum to the contract with ESS Northeast. My computer just went blank. So those are the only 2 items. So I'm seeking a motion to approve items 8A and B. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second? Any discussion? I'd just like to point out that under one of the, at least under one of the personnel agenda items, I saw somebody who I thought was leaving for Cyber Charter has returned. I won't name names, 2. So that's awesome. So glad to have them back, and we welcome them with open arms and thrilled that they decided to come back, and that's awesome. So thanks. So all in favor of items 8A and B, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next, under 9, student services. Administration recommends approval of the care coordination agreement between Clear Child Services and AASD. The agreement is for 3 years. Under B, administration recommends the approval of the letter of agreement between the Meadows Psychiatric Center and AASD for 3 years. So I will seek a motion to approve items 9A and B. Do I have a second? Second from Mr. Pappas. Would anybody like to discuss either of these agreements? Okay. All in favor of approving items 9A and B, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. We'll move to 10. Business operations. We were provided a capital reserve list of payments. I think we have an Amtran driver or 2 to approve. And And then under C, we have some repository bids that are listed there. Seeking a motion to approve items 10A through C. Do I have a second? Would anybody like to discuss any of these items? Okay. All in favor of approving items 10A through C, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. All right, moving on to 11, facilities and maintenance. Facilities Committee recommends approval for Weber Murphy Fox Incorporated to provide engineering, design, bidding, and construction administration services for the Logan Elementary School roof replacement at a cost not to exceed $30,500. Cost to be paid from the Capital Reserve Fund. Item B, Facilities Committee recommends approval for Weber Murphy Fox to provide engineering, design, bidding, and construction administration services for the replacement of all windows and exterior doors, including storefront and insulated hollow metal at a cost not to exceed $77,500. Cost to be paid from the Capital Reserve Fund. May I have a motion to approve items 11A and B? Do I have a second? Would anybody like to discuss either of these items? Okay, all in favor of items 11A and B, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Moving on, under new business. We have a motion to administration recommends the motion to terminate retainer and any fee agreement with Sanford Heisler Sharp LLP, and further authorizing the board president, superintendent, and/or their designee to take any and all actions necessary to effectuate same. Can I have a motion to approve that request from administration? What's that? Yeah, we just let us get a second. Do I have a second? Okay, now, if anybody would like to discuss this. And I think you have to discuss it probably publicly. Or Okay, would anybody like to discuss item 12A before we vote? Should we take a roll call on this? Let's roll call this one, please.
Mr. Pappas. Mr. Pacifico. Mr. Romanowitz.
Yes.
Mr. McCully.
No.
Mr. Cook.
Yes.
Mrs. McGinnis. Mr. Mignon.
Yes.
5-2.
Okay, motion carries 5-2. Thank you. We'll move on to number 13, committee reports. Any committee chair reports? No? Board President's report. None really, just to congratulate all our athletes, the gymnastics team, the wrestling team, and the girls' basketball team all doing so well. I don't want to steal Ms. Jiosa's thunder, but I just wanted to publicly acknowledge how thrilled the board is with the success of all these programs. Other than that, we'll turn it over to Ms. Jiosa.
Good evening. Thus far, February has been a very busy month for Altoona students. On February 3rd, the Altoona and Hollidaysburg Key Clubs competed in a Super Bowl. Upon entering the Hollidaysburg gym, students from both schools placed money and cans of soups into donation bins that were given to benefit the Mountain Lion Backpack Program. The Southern Allegheny Museum of Arts uplifted young artists during their Artist of the 21st Century celebration on February 8th. 23 AAHS students will have their work showcased until April 6th. Student artists in the Arts for Public Places class have also been hard at work designing a new mural that has replaced the one located in the stairwell of the A building. Our teacher, Miss Catherine Curry, alongside local artist Deb Burnell, have been supervising the project. A dedication for the new, very bright mural is set for February 21st at 9 a.m. The Pennsylvania Junior Academy of Science competed in the Regional 6 meeting at St. Francis on February 8th. 10 students advanced to the state meet. As February is Black History Month, the Black Student Union has been especially active. To raise money, the club sold baked goods, pins, and bracelets that educated about historical Black figures. On February 13th, the club also hosted a free movie night in the auditorium, showcasing the movie The 688. During the last home game of the season for the boys and girls basketball, we celebrated our field house being open for 50 years. Over the past weekend, the boys wrestling team competed against teams from all over the district and took home the title of District 6 champions for the first time since 1981. In an effort to bring back archery, during the in-service on February 14th, representatives from the National Archery in Schools program taught physical education teachers about the sport. And then numerous scholarship applications are now available outside the guidance office. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jiosa. Okay, superintendent's report.
Just real briefly, I mean, I think it's been highlighted here tonight by both our students and our board members, our teachers, administrators. We have a lot of really, really good things going on here in the Altoona Area School District with our students, with our staff, with our administration. What we saw here tonight was participation by parents, and that partnership and collaboration is so important. So again, I want to emphasize, part of the success, a big part of the success of both Baker and McAuliffe Heights is the willingness and the commitment of parents to be involved in their children's education. The more that we have collaboration with our parents and support, and that we're all singing the same song, we feel like that we can help our students to be successful and realize whatever it is that they want to do in life. So we're very excited about that. I know we're knee deep into scheduling at the high school and junior high school at this point. It's going to be a great run to the end of the season for winter sports. Really looking forward to spring sports. I know our teams are out and doing some preseason conditioning and doing some BP and some pitching lessons and everything else. Again, we have a lot of terrific things going on here in our community and in the Altoona Area School District, and I hope that we can continue to grow together. Thank you.
Thanks, Brad. Next, we move to number 14 for information only. We have professional contracts. We have several instructors who completed 3 years of satisfactory service and are entitled to tenure, effective January 14th, and also under 14B, a long list of people who will be paid for college credits in the month of February. 15, do we have an employee unions response? Seeing none. Anyone from middle management? None. Mr. Beard, solicitor report.
This will be one of the first times that I'm going to say no report because every day something's changing, coming out differently until I actually watch the news tonight or listen to it tomorrow morning. I really don't feel comfortable giving a report as to what is occurring in Washington at this time, as it impacts education. Thank you.
Thank you. That being said, I will I will accept a motion to adjourn this meeting. Do I have a second? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.